Oh hi. Gdansk, the city in northern Poland, the sixth in population in the country. 470,907 inhabitants 2020. Together with the next Sopotun Gdynia forms Trójmiasto's agglomeration, priority with the general population of 747,637 inhabitants. 2017. Gdansk, large port on the Baltic Sea, the center of the industry, in particular petrochemical and mechanical engineering. The shipbuilding and ship repair are developed. Gdansk is for the first time mentioned in the Chronicle in 997 in connection with Saint Adalbert. Wojciech's mission to Prussia. However, according to archaeological excavations, the settlement on the place of Gdansk existed in the 5th century AD. From 997 to 1308 Gdansk was in structure of Poland. On November 14, 1308 it was captured by Knights of the Teutonic German Award. It is attached to Prussia and renamed into Danzig. Since 1361 Gdansk becomes the member of the Hanseatic Union, and one of the major In 1466, after the end of 13 Years' War of the Teutonic Order with Poland, during which the award got beaten, Gdansk was reunited with Poland and his initial name was returned to him. However, the city received from the Polish King Casimir broad privileges, thanks to which his dependence on Poland actually was nominal. The city independently chose officials, conducted almost independent foreign policy, and had a monetary regalia. In 1468 in the city there were local annals presented by the Danzig Chronicle, and in 1498 publishing began. The performance of Danzig of the minding Polish King Stefan Batory was suppressed in 1577, however the city kept the privileges, having got off with contribution payment. During war the city was taken for the Polish inheritance by troops of the Russian General Munich. In 1793, as a result of the partition of Poland, Prussia got Gdansk and again became Danzig. After capture in 1807 by the French, Danzig was announced by the Free City, the Danzig Republic. But after a ruinous siege in 1813 returned to Prussia. After World War I, Danzig under the Versailles Peace Treaty, 1919. Received the status of the Free City and was under control of the League of Nations. The contract also transferred to Poland the territories giving her access to Danzig, so-called the Danzig Corridor, or the Polish Corridor, which separated East Prussia from Germany. The most part of the population of the city was made by Germans, but Poles had the right for own institutions, for example schools, libraries, etc. Besides, under the Treaty of Versailles, conducting foreign affairs of Danzig and management of railway communication of the Free City was provided to Poland. Poland was granted the right of free use of the Danzig waterways, docks and so forth. Danzig was included into a customs area of Poland. Since 1926 Poland, with the consent of the League of Nations, contained in the harbor of Danzig a warehouse of military equipment under protection of the Polish military personnel. In 1939 Germany demanded from the Polish Republic to return the city and also to provide to Germany ways to a round of the Danzig corridor for communication with East Prussia. The refusal of Poland became a formal reason for the beginning of World War II. On September 1, 1939 in Gdansk were attacked by the German troops. The Polish Mail. See Defense of the Polish Mail in Gdansk. And small Polish garrison in Westerplatte fort. Within several hours the Polish Mail was defended by several dozens of Polish patriots armed with generally sports and hunting weapon. The garrison of the Polish military and transit warehouse held defense against the German troops from September 1 to September 7. Under Adolf Hitler's decree on October 8, Gdansk was a part of East Prussia as the city of Danzig. Gdansk was freed by the Soviet troops at the end of March, 1945. During bombings and storm by the Soviet troops, the city was strongly destroyed. In the center of destruction reached 70–80%. After war, according to the decision of the Potsdam Conference, East Prussia was liquidated. Her southern part, about 2/3 total areas including Gdansk, it was transferred to Poland. Troops of the Second Belarusian Front finished defeat of the Danzig group of Germans and on March 30, 1945 storm seized the city and fortress Gdansk. Danzig, the major port and the first-class naval base of Germans on the Baltic Sea. At once after war, already in the late 40s, despite considerable economic difficulties, in Gdansk restoration of the old city began. This process isn't completed still, though the most part of works is already executed. Generally not restored, there are ruins of grain barns on the island of warehouses and the island of Olivianka. In general, the old city is restored almost completely. In the summer of 1980, Gdansk became one of the centers of the strike movement which led to creation of independent labor union, Solidarność. Here the interfactory strike committee led by the electrician of the Gdansk shipyard Lech Walesa was based. The President of Poland subsequently. Here the most known of August agreements was signed. In December 1981, the Gdansk shipyard became the center of a protest against martial law. Spring of 1988, one of the centers of a new wave of strikes. On January 13, 2019, the mayor of Gdansk, Paweł Adamowicz, holding this post more than 20 years, was killed. In the city, the humid sea climate with soft winter and prevails in the rainy summer. Average air temperature fluctuates from 1.0 C up to plus 17.2 C and rainfall from 31.0/month to 84.0/month. Seasons are accurately distinguishable. At the beginning of spring it is usually cold and windy, and then weather becomes warm and quite solar. Summer, which begins in June, generally warm but a hot time. Plus 35 C happen to temperature over plus 30, at least once a year. With a large number of sunny days which alternate with a strong rain. July and August the warmest months. The fall comes in September, which, as a rule, warm and solar, gradually changes on cold, dampness and fogs in November. The winter lasts from December to March. January and February, cold months. Temperature sometimes goes down to 15 C. Economy. In industrial regions of the city, the shipbuilding, the petrochemical, chemical and food industries prevail. The share of high-tech sectors, such as electronics, telecommunications, mechanical engineering, cosmetics and pharmaceutics, is on rise. Amber processing is also an important part of local economy, as the majority of deposits of amber lie in the world along the Baltic coast. The Poma voivodeship including Gdansk, are also the large center of tourism in summer months. Millions of Poles and citizens of the European Union have a rest on beaches of the Baltic coast. The large companies in Gdansk. Action it. Ship technology, shipbuilding. Designs from aluminum. Amazon it. Isla Foods, the food industry. Atlanta, Poland, the importer of nuts and dried fruits. Cogner Steel, the equipment, capital goods. CompuWare it. Christ Shipbuilding. Delphi Auto Parts. Drive Cordemeyer, flour grinding production. Drive. Wicker, the food industry. Dresser Wayne, the retail systems of gas station. Electrici Plani Wybrzes Power. Elnerd Power. Energetic Trading Power. Epem it. Finios it. First Data Finance. Flugger production of paints. Phosphorus the chemical company. Gdansk Shipyard Shipbuilding. Gdanska Stocznia Remontowa Shipbuilding. G-Money Bank Finance. Glencore Raw Materials. Grupa Lotos Power. D Heavy Duty Retail Trade. Hydrobudowa Construction Company. IBIT. Intel it. Jisk Retail Trade. Kanos it. Lentabalan Steel Structures. LPP Retail Trade. Lufthansa Systems it. Maersk Line Services and Pickup. Nasterlease Finance. Mercor Fire Protection Systems. Maritime Bank Finance. Orlen Morena Power. Petrobaltic Power. Polnod Energobudowa Construction Company. Rare Location it. Sattel Security Systems it. SAI it. Skanska Construction Company. Sony Pictures Entertainment Accounting is planned. Stabilator Construction Company. Stocznia Polnokna Shipbuilding. Stocznia Wisla Shipbuilding. Saruga Seiki it. Thomson Reuters Media. ThyssenKrupp Johan A. Cross Steel, the equipment, capital goods. Transcom Worldwide, business processing outsourcing. Warehouses Cellulose Fibers, production of fibers of cellulose is planned. Wirtualna Polska Internet Service. Young Digital Planet it. Zensa Technologies it. Zia, the company of cosmetics and beauty. Transport. The Gdansk Airport of Lech Walesa, the international airport located in Gdansk. Ports of Gdansk. Deep Water Container Terminal. The port capable to accept the largest cargo vessels and located on the southern coast of Gdansk Bay within the city. As of 2021 is in process of expansion. New port. International ferry lines. From Gdansk, ferries of the Polferries Company go to the countries of Scandinavia and the Baltics. PGP station. The main passenger railway station with PGP Intercity and Skemsem of service. There is also a Gdansk Vechish station. Skemsem. The suburban and city train of agglomeration Trójmiasto. The park of buses and trams are under authority of Gmina Gdansk. Obwodnica Tromeska, the line bypassing the cities of Gdynia, Sopot and Gdansk. Trains provide communication with all main Polish towns and also with the neighboring areas. Highway connects the port and the city of Gdansk to the southern border of the country. Gdansk was a starting point of a route of Evrowelo 9 which proceeded on the south through Poland, then in the Czech Republic, Austria and Slovenia, before the termination in the Bullet, Croatia. Sport. In Gdansk and the Trójmiasto area there are many popular professional teams. Thousands of citizens of Gdansk and also at schools of all steps play amateur sports. Primary and secondary education and also at the universities. Professional football club of the city is the Gdansk Lechia. This club, founded in 1945, plays in the highest division of the Championship of Poland on soccer. His home stadium, Polsat Plus Arena, hosted 4 matches of the European Football Championship 2012 and also the final of the Europa League of 2021. Since 1957 there is a team on a speedway. Not the first year Russian Reinhard Kafarov participates in team. The hockey arena Olivia is home stadium of the Stoczniowicz -2014 and Okier Gdansk teams. The short track championships are held. Policy and local government. Northern Gdansk is the capital of the province called the Poma Voivodeship and one of the main centers of economic and administrative life in Poland. It is a lot of important public authorities and local authorities have in the main offices. Provincial Administration, Provincial Government, Office of the Agency of the State Treasury, Agency on Consumer Protection and Protection of the Competition, Regional Social Insurance, Court Appeal and Supreme Administrative Court. The Gdansk Voivodeship was increased in 1999 and included the most part being the Słupski Voivodeship, western part of the Voivodeship of Elbląg, the county of Winnicki from the Voivodeship Bydgoszcz. The new Poma Voivodeship thereby was created. The area of the area thus increased from 7394 km up to 18293 km. The population increased with 1,333,800. 1980. Up to 198,000. 2000. By 1998 the vast majority of the population was Trójmiasto. Nearly a half of inhabitants of the new region lives in the center. In Gdansk there is a Consulate General of Russia. Science and education. In Gdansk 14 universities and in total 60436 students, including 10439 graduates as of 2001. Gdansk University. Gdansk Polytechnical University. Gdansk Medical University. Academy of Physical Culture and Sport of Gdansk. Musical Academy. Academy of Fine Arts. Institute of Sciences about Water. At Num the Higher School. Gdansk Higher Humanitarian School. Gdansk Higher School of Management. School of Banking. Social and Economic School. Gdansk Higher School of Tourism and Hotel Business. School of Management. Scientific and Regional Organizations. Gdansk Scientific Organization. The Baltic Institute created in 1925. GNOG. Scientific Organization on the Organization and Management. Gdansk. The Gdansk Institute of Market Economy. Sites: Virgin Mary's Church, Mariacki, the second largest in Europe, after the Cologne Cathedral, and at the same time the biggest brick temple in Europe. It is constructed in the 13th, 16th centuries in strict Gothic style. Almost completely remained during storm of the city in 1945. A part of the arches subsequently restored in concrete fell off. In the old city there is Upkajan's house, one of not numerous petty bourgeois stone houses of the 18th century in Europe open for visit. The royal path, ceremonial entry into the city beginning at a complex of City Gate, High Gate, Rascally Gate and Golden Gate. A path goes further along the Lugoi Street, Lawn, and comes to an end at Lugi Targ Square, the Long Market. On Dlugom Targ there are many monuments of Renaissance. City Town Hall, Artis's Yard, Neptune's Fountain, Gold House, Green Gate, Gdansk, Island of Warehouses, the Abbatical Palace in the Olive, Big Arsenal. In Gdansk many museums, including Gallery of Painting, are located. The archaeological museum located in the historic center of the city is interesting. In the same place the Gdansk Central Maritime Museum is located. Crete's Maritime Museum as well. Żurów, the construction of the 15th century combining several functions, city gate, a defensive tower and a port crane. Before the beginning of the 20th century Żurów was the biggest port crane of Europe. He was also used for installation of masts on the ships. Is one of symbols of Gdansk. In 2017 the Museum of World War II, one of the largest museums of Europe devoted to this subject, was open. Among temples of Gdansk it is possible to note a Benedictine Church of St. Adalbert, St. Francis's Church and also Virgin Mary's Church and St. Varvara's Church. It is a lot of centuries which were Lutheran churches and reconsecrated in the 20th century. In the suburb of Gdansk the zoo is located. In astronomy. In honor of Gdansk the asteroid 764 Gdansk opened in 1913 by the German astronomer Franz Kaiser, who worked in observatory of Gdansk, is called. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.